everybody, and welcome to Just for Women Africa. And my name is Olaleko. I'm also the founder of Just for Women Africa. And on today's show, we are on an interview all the way from America. We have with us Eze1, who is an artist. He designs music covers for musicians from around the world. He'll be talking to us about how he got started, his challenges, and the various artists he's worked with all over the world. You're welcome to Just for Men Africa, Eze.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having you on the show. It's been a long time coming. Okay, Eze, could you just tell us briefly about yourself before we get into what you do?
Okay, sure. So my name is Eze1, just a normal, ordinary guy, born and raised in Nigeria. I went to Ghana for school where I studied mechanical engineering. I quickly figured out that wasn't really my thing. So after school, I went back to Nigeria and went into the entertainment industry where I was a TV producer. I produced two shows that are airing in different West African countries at the moment. That got bored really quickly for me, so I decided to give music another go because I had you know, I've always been interested in music, both producing and writing music. And so I went into that, recorded a few songs, released them on different platforms. And I quickly saw that I needed a lot of money to make that work. And there wasn't really a support system in my corner. And luckily for me, I had been learning Python programming. And so I was able to get a job in Ghana, which made me move back to Ghana in a fintech company. All this while still nurturing my art skills on the side. Um, you know, then I saw an opportunity in the market. I love music. I've always loved music. And if there's a way I can help other artists, even though I wasn't able to succeed on my own, I was going to jump on that. I remember a friend of mine always told me, like, since I was young, like, look, there isn't just one opportunity in the music industry. You don't need to be an artist. If you're not an artist, you can be an A&R. You can be someone behind the scene, supporting the artist. And I thank God for that advice because I was able to see the opportunity when it came up. And right now I'm in the industry full time as an agency, developing album covers, lyric videos, and whatnot for major record labels around the world.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's quite interesting from mechanical engineering. Now you're now doing music. It just shows you how things change over life. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so how many industries have you worked for? Or record labels?
Okay, so in Africa, I have worked for um, Triple MG, which is the record label owned by Ubi Franklin, the music exec. I have worked for Davido. I have worked for Tiwa Savage. Um, these are all, extensions of Triple MG. They got the contract for me and I was able to fulfill on it. Um, that's in my hometown, Nigeria. But across the world, I've worked with so many upcoming artists, as well as not too known labels. It's honestly hard to keep a tab on that. But I'll say in all, I've designed almost 1,000 album covers.
Well, 1,000, that's a lot. That is a lot. Okay, so can you walk us through the album covers? When an artist approaches you or a record label approaches you and they say, design a record cover label for us, right? What's the process? Do you sit down with the artist or do you sit down with the record company to come up with a model, or they allow you to be creative and come up with something for them?
I approach things from a more holistic standpoint, but let's just say I'm focused on the album cover. I like to get into the mind of the musician, whether or not they come to me with a concept. If they do come with a concept, I still want to diagnose and make sure that the solution that they think is the right solution is actually the right solution. Yeah, so we talk about what their vision is, and I bring in my own input. We talk about how we want the audience to feel or react to the album cover. Then, like I said, I like to take the approach of a film director and see every song I work on as a movie. Okay, so I'm looking for the hot points in the movie. It could be the opening scene, it could be the closing scene, or it could be somewhere in between. And I try to pick one part and see how best I can interpret that in art form, and that becomes the album cover.
So in all, how long does it usually take to make an album cover?
Oh, it depends. It depends. It's so I've worked on album covers where I'm done in like 15 minutes, and I've worked on album covers where 3 months we are still going back and forth with a concept. So it really depends.
Okay, so there's no really a time frame to how long it takes to make an album cover.
Yeah, so the time frame usually it depends on it's all on the artist and their release schedule. Usually I try not to take, like, if an artist comes to meet me and say, "Hey, I have a song that's coming out in 2 days," I don't want to take on that contract because it's going to affect my work. And a typical time frame will be anywhere from 2 weeks to a month to finish an album cover. But like I said, it could be way shorter, 15, 30 minutes, I'm done with it, or it could be way longer.
Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, so my next question will be to you will be, so how did you learn all these skills to make an album cover? Did you have to learn new softwares? Did you have to upgrade your? I mean, what skills did you have to learn? I mean, apart from Photoshop, which is basic, everybody uses.
Yeah. I have been, I think I've been blessed to have had people around me since childhood who saw the potential and encouraged me in different ways, whether it was with their words or with their money by buying, you know, equipment for me, painting brushes or canvas to paint on. And I was very much into the traditional art form when I started. That is just paintbrush and oil paint on canvas. However, I got bored with that and I left art alone when I got into university to study mechanical engineering. But as fate would have it, I was introduced to digital art in my first year of university. I saw a friend of mine just playing with Photoshop on his computer. I was like, "Hey, what's that?" Actually, I wasn't really introduced to digital art then. The first exposure I had to digital art was as a kid on my mom's Windows 95 computer, probably. I just take a
Mhm.
mouse and draw around and put different colors. But I would say first year of birth was when I actually, you know, wanted to know what this was. And so I started experimenting by myself. I started watching YouTube videos, learning different techniques. And yeah, I gradually got known for art because I had a few businesses back in university, a recording studio as well as a t-shirt business. And I expressed my art through the t-shirt business. And people gradually knew me as, "Oh, that's the guy. He's studying mechanical engineering, but he can do your artwork as well."
That's cool. That's a nice way to refer to somebody. All right. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, it is. It is. Okay. So now you create the covers for the albums. How do you ensure that um, what you've done for artist A is not repeated for artist B, C, D, E, F? How do you ensure that you don't create the same things all over again?
Um, like I said, it's a two-way thing. It would be one thing if it was only me coming up with the concepts, but I'm working with different artists, and everyone is unique in their thoughts, in their mannerisms, and I think that conveys itself in the artwork. Yes, sometimes I might design two covers, and I'm like, I think someone has come to me with this concept before, but it's at the end of the day, it's never really the same. There's always something different, and yeah, I just don't think I've ever done exactly the same thing before. I don't know why. Maybe I might in the future, but But for now, I haven't been really worried about making sure my previous album covers are very different from, the new ones. I'm also evolving as an artist. I'm taking on new mediums like artificial intelligence. I have deployed that to help me in my creation process. Yeah, we keep staying different.
Can you tell us? I mean, you've created covers, album covers for musicians around the world. Which are your top two that you think of and go like, these are really great covers I designed?
Oh, oh man, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I have this bad habit of obsessing over every cover I make. So like once I make it and I submit it and it gets approved, it's like my baby for the next week or so, but I would say covers that I'm really proud of are number one, Demo. It's a song by Davido and DJ Neptunes. Um, I also had a hand in creating the lyric video for that. And that's my number one. The second one, hmm. The second one, I'd say it's for a relatively unknown artist, although he was big in the past. I'd say it was for Chitty Bang. Chitty Bang, the artist, is an American artist. Then I know he's asked for two, but I just have to put one more in there.
No
I
problem.
made yeah, sure. I made what do you call it? Uh, Playlist covers for
Okay.
YouTube Music some years ago.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
so those are my the covers I'm proud of. But there are many more. There are many more, to be honest.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so which artists or would you love to make an album cover for that you haven't worked with yet?
Oh, oh yeah, sure. Sure. I was having the discussion with my girlfriend not too long ago, so it's funny you bring it up. There are a lot there are a lot, but the artist I really want to work with is Kanye West. Just
Okay.
because of what he represents to modern culture. He is diverse in his thinking. He breaks the rules when necessary. He pushes the limit, and it would just be inspirational to work with him.
Okay. Apart from Kenya West, who else?
Okay, apart from Kanye West, I would love to work with Burna Boy.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
would love to work with Burna Boy. Funny story, me and Burna Boy are childhood friends. I don't mean to name drop, but our paths just haven't crossed, since we were kids. He's someone I really want to work with just because of what he's doing for Afrobeats.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice. I mean, doing a music cover for Burna Boy would be really be cool. Okay, Eze. So we're about to round up the interview. We're running out of time. Can you tell us what's the future for Eze One?
In the near future, I see myself going heavily into product design, where I design different products to help people in the music industry and outside the industry. For example, my team and I are working on software where artists can go and using AI generate their own album covers. Um, that's if they're on a budget, of course. Uh, um, and I just want to go into business in general. I have a clothing line. I have a few more business ideas I have in mind, and I just want to keep having fun doing what I'm doing, using art as a way to express myself in different ways.
That's great. That's great. I look for future. I look to the. I'm looking forward to the AI system you're building for people who are on budget for the music covers. That'll be really interesting to see how it turns out to be. I think that's the future. AI is definitely the future. All right. Okay, Eze, what's your advice to men out there all over Africa who haven't yet found themselves yet and are looking for something to do, but they say, oh, things are hard, the economy is hard, but they're still out there, still struggling.
Yeah. I sympathize with men a lot, because it's tough. It's tough for men to make it in this world where you are judged a lot by what you can bring to the table, by the value you can add. And a lot of men I have seen in my personal life tend to give up. My advice would be, look, God will never send us something that we cannot stand up to. He'll never send a challenge too great that would make us fall down permanently. I would say don't give up. Look for the inner warrior in you. Keep fighting. I know we are in Africa, the continent that is so disadvantaged by a lot of things. It could be our leaders, it could be technology, could be infrastructure, but do not use any of that as an excuse. I never used any of that as an excuse. I didn't make it just because I came over here. I was determined to have a great life in Africa, and I did that to myself for a time. I would say, just don't give up. Keep fighting for yourself, keep fighting for your family, keep fighting for the people you love. And if it's God's will, there'll be a breakthrough in your life.
I like that. If it is God's will, there will be a breakthrough in your life. Thank you a lot, Izzy, for coming with us on Just for Men Africa. We really appreciate it. We look forward to interviewing again in future. We wish you all the best.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure being on your show. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. And to our friends, do not forget to subscribe. Tell a friend who knows a friend about Just for Men Africa. Until the next show from Izzy and I, it'll be. Bye.
Bye.
Izzy, thanks so much.